What's going on, guys, and welcome to episode 2 of the Raptor Attack Podcast. I am one of your hosts, James Parsons, and today I'm joined by Anthony Green.
Good day.
Aaron Powell, Sam Busher, and Matt Crandon. Each of us has brought a topic to the table, gaming and geek, and we're going to talk about them until there are no words left. You can find us at Twitter, at the Raptor Attack. You can find us at twitch.tv/Raptor Attack UK. You can find us at YouTube, where you are right this very second, hopefully. If you're on Facebook, Powell.
Get off Facebook.
Thank you, Powell.
Get to YouTube.
Where you can like, subscribe, comment and share. We're pretty much just going to jump into the topics today. We are going to start with Aaron Powell.
Alright.
Oh, here we go.
A couple of weeks ago, PlayStation announced that they had miraculously found some way to emulate a PS2 memory card. Anyway, they were thinking about bringing PS2 games into the PS4, into next-gen technology. My question is, what game, from growing up, from previous consoles, from PC, from whatever, would you like to bring into the next generation of gaming? For
That's
myself,
a real good one.
For myself, hands down, it would be Jak and Daxter. It was the greatest game on the PlayStation 2.
Ratchett and Clank are better.
You're coming out and saying, well, we're going to start this fight in a minute. You're coming out and saying that it was the greatest game on the PS2, but I would probably say that aside from PC, because you can stretch from start to end, right? So from the day that a PC was created and the first game was made to now, that the PS2 probably has the best game library that exists.
Hands
If you
down.
think about what
Yeah,
came
yeah,
out, yeah? I mean, come on, SmackDown was on it.
It's not that wasn't it?
I could never play wrestling games. Like, I was awful. Terrible.
You've let me down there.
There's a system.
Much better
You
at
just
wrestling in
press
real
all
life.
the buttons in a circular motion, like.
I think that's how Luke used to be all the time.
Yeah. But no, yeah, Jak and Daxter, I think the first game out, everyone thought it was maybe a bit childish, whatever. It had that sort of Crash Bandicoot feel to it, but second game came in, Jak 2 kicked off, got gritty, got dark, got superpowers. It just took it to the next level, and I think I'd like to see that brought into the modern day. Better graphics, better...
So you want the full...
full experience.
The works.
You know, there's a reason why they are already bringing Ratchet and Clank into next gen.
Well, Ratchet and Clank obviously didn't have the fan base it needed, so they've had to constantly churn games out, trying to win people over.
Isn't that what this game's doing now?
No?
Ratchet and Clank made some mistakes though, didn't they? Have you seen, like, is it All for One or something like that? Or they have done some like late PS3 games and stuff that were bad.
Yeah,
Naughty Dog.
GeForce.
I think I downloaded it, PlayStation Plus, and
Yeah, I've got
That was
it
a
on
mistake.
PlayStation now. I've played it the other day and it's like arena based.
it's so weird.
My god!
Is it like a MOBA? Is it Dota, but Ratchet and Dota?
Yeah.
Ratchet and Dota.
But, oh my god. My god.
Basically,
So much rainbow.
Naughty Dog knew when everyone had had enough, and
Of course, Naughty Dog was Jak, man.
they
Them
know
heroes.
that they're not going to do Jak and Daxter 4 because they know they will never do it justice. Whereas, whatever tripe who are making Ratchet and Clank are just churning that, flogging the dead horse.
I feel like I've never played either of these games, so I'm clearly in
Ratchet
the
and
dark.
Clank, all the way.
Yeah,
but
Can I just point out, would you rather have a sarcastic, funny ferret on your shoulder or a robot who...
I'll be the sarcastic funny ferret.
That's actually yes. See what I did then?
Shit.
See what he did?
Oh, shit.
Jak can...
He's in check right
has
now.
dark powers, he can pretty much go Super Saiyan.
Money's nuts and bolts.
Oh.
Jak has a hoverboard.
I've got lots of them.
Your weapon
God.
is a wrench.
See,
Oh, that's not
kind of
done
like
for me.
all my combinations of favourite things bunched into one.
Well, I played both, so...
I would love to see a Super Smash Brothers between Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter.
That's a pretty weak roster if that's
I
the
don't
whole
care,
thing.
I like
the whole cast of 4 characters.
Choose your pair!
Just tag team. Just tag team.
I've got quite a good answer to this one, and I reckon it will probably be a unanimous decision across the table.
Yes.
And
It better be.
it's not necessarily bringing what I'd consider a retro or old game to current gen. It would be bringing an existing game to where it should be in the generation. And this is fucking Monster Hunter. Oh. Why is Monster Hunter not currently a next gen game? Why is it
That's
not on
fantastic,
Xbox One?
yeah.
Why is it not on PC? Why is it not on PS4?
It's not on DS.
It's on. Is DS a next generation console?
And you can make that same argument
No,
about Wii U.
that's not what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
like the
I'm
Wii U.
asking what it's on.
Yeah, it's on. I'm pretty sure it's on the DS. It's on the Wii.
It's on the 3DS.
The Wii U,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
It's not one of like Nintendo-owned brand, is it? Like,
Is it
can't do
Nintendo-owned?
It's
it's
No, it's-
Capcom. Is it Capcom? Capcom.
Capcom.
Yeah.
Capcom Chancellor.
Yeah.
He owns it.
But yeah, I've never understood it because I remember the first time my friends they all had PSP, so playing on so I went, why not? I'll jump on the bandwagon. I'll get involved, and it consumed my life for like 4 or 5 weeks. My file was absolutely enormous, and I just got completely absorbed into this game. And the one question I constantly asked was, when is this coming to console? When is this coming to console? Because you'd sit there and play with somebody in the same room, and you'd be like, you want to play this online with 8 people, 16 people.
Here's the deal. So, my first experience was actually the PS2 very first Monster Hunter, and I actually went out and got the online capable PS2 to be able to plug it in the Ethernet and actually play with people. By that point, there was maybe 6 people still playing it in the world. Because I had to save up for, I bought it for £3, pre-owned, whatever.
Took me 6 months.
6 years for £6. It was £1 a year. It was difficult times. My next experience was probably the 3DS. No, PSP. I played Freedom Unite 2, which was great. No online. They added something in that ad hoc thing for PS3, so you could. But again, it was it's not in the game. Like, it's janky. Then the DS or the 3DS version, and now the latest one has online on the 3DS. And it actually works. Like, you don't need to know the people in advance. You can just go to a random lobby of people the same level, and it's good. But it's not good enough because it's on the handheld.
Yeah.
I want it on a big screen. I don't want it on the Wii U. I don't want to have to go out and buy a Wii U for Monster Hunter, especially with the NX coming.
It's still got the ganky control system. I remember on the PSP where you have to learn to use the analog with your thumb whilst crossing your fingers across the buttons, and it's
a game where
I've never understood the decision to not bring it to Xbox or PS4.
I can guarantee though, if it came to Xbox or PS4, they would change the controls to make them better and put in a leveling up system for the character, because the way that game makes you play is you get better. The character doesn't level up at any point. You get better equipment, but you can only get that by fighting things you aren't good enough to fight. By you getting better. The controls are difficult by purpose. Draw weapon is also a different attack. Put weapon away is also use item. So you can't use items while your weapons are out. They slow you down, etc., etc. Yeah, I'd like to see that next gen.
Sounds confusing.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that next gen.
I feel like that could happen, like, quite... like, Monster Hunter's not, like, a franchise that's died off yet.
No, it's still massive in Japan. The reason why it's on handhelds is because you have to get a train to everywhere in Japan.
Yeah.
The fact that it's not on the Vita is upsetting, but there's no support for the Vita anyway, so it's not surprising. Vote with your wallets. Buy Vitas. They'll make games, I promise. What's yours then, Matt?
I think I don't know whether this is current, but I've always liked the idea of having an RPG-based Pokemon game, like where.
So you're
RPG.
actually taking a game and not just giving it the next gen shine. You're actually saying no, this is where it
Well,
needs to go.
it kind of has the next gen shine, but they've already seemed to have done that. So it's kind of taken out the topic slightly.
With the remakes, I suppose so.
But like with the remakes, it's updating the graphics. It's making it like they changed camera angle and made everything look a bit 3D, haven't they?
Yeah. You also don't have to just run up, down, left, or right. They're
Yeah,
giving you that.
Whoa, you can go
diagonals.
diagonal?
Yeah.
Breaking all the rules.
I haven't played it since Red.
It's
so.
Professor Oak knew about this.
But
You can even do it on your bike.
I don't know whether I'd have to revisit my thought process, but like it's always stuck in my mind as something that like when I was big into RPGs, I was like, sick with Pokemon here.
Yeah.
If you could do it like this, and like maybe like the combat system, like you wouldn't go up to like a Pokemon like a normal RPG and go and hack and slash at it. Like it would then go into like Pokemon Coliseum sort of combat based system.
Yeah.
It's still the same combat turn-based system, but then you've got the cinematic of like Charizard wants to breathe in fire, he'll like
Actually breathe.
suck it up
Yeah.
and breathe it out rather than it just going.
Did you ever play Digimon World 1?
No, I've never been big into Digimon.
Yeah, Digimon.
That game
check
was my jam.
Digimon World 1, right?
Yeah.
I was actually watching a live stream because there's a new one coming out for PS4.
I always
soon.
thought that
It's-
Digimon was just like a crap Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's how I saw
I think
it.
that's how everyone sees
It's
it.
sitting on the
It's not
coattails,
just me
right?
then,
It was
yeah.
sitting on the coattails. But the actual the game premise itself was that you were sucked into the Tamagotchi world.
Okay.
And the game presents itself so you have to go and like take your Agumon to the toilet when it wants to poop, and you have to
What?
discipline it when it does things wrong. But you're also leveling it up in the gym and fighting things and trying to digivolve it.
So
But it
it's
is a
like,
3D
it's like Tamagotchi
presented.
mixed with Pokemon.
Yeah, completely.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Digimon.
But no, I can see what you're talking about with Pokemon. Like, you want to be able to walk through Route 1, go to Viridian City, and like the camera is behind the character, and you can see Viridian City. Yeah. Nintendo have pretty much said that they're not going to do an MMO on the new console because they don't have to. They're financially sound. They don't need to take a risk. That's pretty much what they've come out and said.
It's not really a risk, is it? It's got to be a home run. If that ever came out, everyone would just stay at home and play the game.
Could you imagine? Every single person who owns a console at that point will go, well, I'll buy the new Nintendo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Nintendo have either got to do that or say, Mario's going to be on PlayStation and Xbox, and we're not going to do
Tell
hardware
you
anymore.
what they need to fucking do. Bring back a normal remote for a Nintendo game.
Have you seen like the patents for
like,
the
Wii,
NX?
Like, what
Yeah.
the hell is
So
that?
thin.
Yeah.
So thin. It's so
It's
thin.
like, yeah, you
It
got
needs
to
to be
hold it
this
like
thick.
this to do your one thing, and then, okay, you want to play Mario Kart.
I want to play Mario Kart, not do Mario Kart. Doing a Mario Kart. That would work with VR. Maybe they've already got that in mind with the
It should be
NX.
exactly like that Oculus thing we played on EGX.
That
It
was
just
weird.
feels sick.
The Oculus was bad, but the Morpheus Project
One with
VR,
the
whatever,
proper Sony release
there was
one.
nothing on that, was there?
Well,
Like,
yeah.
I didn't get any motion
I
sickness.
didn't get any motion. It was definitely still early stages for me. There was still bugs that needed to work out.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite.
The glitchy hands.
Yeah, it wasn't quite like perfect, but
Yeah.
But that isn't with the headset, is it? That's with the sensors
Yeah.
and the
To
thing.
be
that
fair,
just kinda-
I thought that even though I didn't go on the PlayStation stuff, even though the Oculus Rift was pretty good, I can really imagine that working so well for stuff like Mario Kart.
Yeah, people
really
will do
can't.
it, won't they?
Yeah.
Imagine 4 people sat around TV with like headsets.
Yeah, but if
So
someone
sick.
hits you with like one of the turtles and it spins, you're just going to be
Oh,
sick.
God, you
Oh
will.
man.
Perfect.
Oh no.
This is reality. But yeah, I can see that working really well. Like, there's obviously things you'd probably have to fine tune, but I can see
Yeah.
that.
It would kind of take out the point of picking a character though, wouldn't it? Because everything's first person.
True.
Everything's POV.
But then with the Nintendo, you can always play as your me.
then
As
again,
well, you can just
Mario
be
Kart,
yourself.
They did have sort of advantages, didn't they, based on the character.
Some of them were fast, some were slower, some of them hit harder.
True.
Oh really?
Yeah, like
Wish
if you
I
go
would've
as
known that.
Bowser's pretty slow, but then on the
Like
DS one you
Yoshi,
can choose
like,
new
proper
cars
quick.
and
Yeah.
yeah, I use Yoshi for everything and his egg. Yoshi and his egg car.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And it's cute as fuck as well.
He's so cute.
Yoshi is cute.
Seeing is that Yoshi's yarn
Yeah,
world
yeah.
whatever it is, yeah. So Pokemon.
Pokemon?
I like that.
I'd like to have something that got me excited about Pokemon.
Pokemon VR?
There's not a lot of...
Don't. Because mine is actually almost the same as Matt's in a way, but they've already kind of made it, which is Pokemon Go. I really want it to be so good, but I don't think it will be either.
I don't know if I've dreamt this, but I'm pretty sure I read an article where they said Pokemon Go was just a fake announcement.
Oh no, there was a fake
No.
announcement of a fake
That was the
announcement.
fake
Was it?
announcement.
Yeah,
Fake.
there was.
It is
Ah.
real. It's real. Yeah, it's real.
It's been having
Got
nightmares.
me.
Every
Got me good.
every night
You know
forever
what?
has been having nightmares since.
Scientists need to get on it and make Pokemon.
Well,
Yes! Make me a damn Pokemon.
Nobody cares about dogs anymore.
whoa, bro.
Oh no, because they're doing that in China,
your
aren't
dogs breathing fire.
they? They're in China.
Or-
In China, they're cloning dogs now.
They're
For
cloning
for
dogs.
sale specifically, which is the worst thing you can imagine because there's so many dogs that need homes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they're cloning dogs and they're cloning something else and it's just been authorised by their government. These giant factories are going to be doing it and so it's so messed up.
Pretty soon they're going to be dogs that are orange that breathe fire.
They're gonna gene
Dogs that
splice
are white
mouses with electricity.
Fire ice with them.
Oh, they're getting
Ice.
close. Okay, if that's real, I'm into that.
But yeah, Pokemon Go. That's something I've always dreamed about, as in, but I can see it causing so many deaths. Like, I just wanted to go up a mountain to get a Pikachu. I can't see that ending well at all.
That's the thing, like, they better make it so you can at least catch
Just like
the
What
whole
do you think?
entire Pokedex within your local area. It's not like flying to Japan to capture Zapdos. Just because I really want
I think
it.
that would make it more interesting.
Also
Like,
make it financially.
well, you can you'll
And
be able
just-
to trade across the system. So like you
You
find a
can-
friend in
Yeah.
America who like the only thing
Yeah.
you want from America is like
Like, if each
a
country,
Fearow or something you could get from America.
if each country had a Pokemon they could only get in that country,
yeah, that'd be
Well,
sweet.
yeah, but
then that's quite sought after. Then you could.
Like if you want Mewtwo, Fucking Everest, mate.
You got
You gotta get to the top.
you got to get in the secret cave.
What about the
So you
water
gotta
Pokemon? Like you have to be in the middle of this
Go
ocean.
diving.
People on cruise ships are going.
I think my sister's fella told me yesterday, so this is third hand, potentially fourth hand, depending where he heard it from. But he said it does depend on where you are and what is around you. Like if you're in a field, it's grass types and it's
That's
Yeah,
cool.
so if
because
you're
it
in, like,
works.
the desert or something.
Yeah, like it'll use the satellite maps and it'll be able to see what the soundings are and kind of guess where you are.
That makes it more appealing.
You'll
But
see
what I
people
don't want-
making fake beaches in the back garden.
Sand.
Yeah.
What I don't want is kids knocking on my door, going, "I need to get in your garden. I need to get in your garden. Why? I need a bell sprout. It's in the grass.
Just let me get the Metapod.
So put a fruit in the
People
tree,
will
I need
actually
it.
start going to like parks again. You're just gonna have kids
Yeah.
like walking through like the rose section.
Yeah.
It's going to get kids outside,
Old
but it's
people
going
like
to
us.
Yeah.
Looking pretty creepy.
With the kids.
In the rose bushes.
Yeah, Nintendo's. It's going to get people out of the house. It's going to get kids out of the house, but they are going to be out of the house like this,
Yeah.
which will cause traffic accidents.
They did have they've got the wrist thing as well, haven't they?
Oh,
You can wear it
no.
on you, but no fuck is going to do that.
What if they found a way to link it to like Google Glasses so it could come up like an alert? that's
Yeah,
like
they'll have
Pokemon
po-
That's what the
Pokemon
thing's for. It
glasses
like
on.
vibrates and lights up when you have it. It's
So
like
they
a
should
watch.
come out with a drug.
Excuse me. Where you can see Pokemon.
Just hallucinate them.
Test the next bit, like, I wanna-
LSD.
Yeah, I'm pretty
exists.
sure those drugs exist.
That
Yeah,
exists
but you
on
might
acid.
start like getting influxes of different games.
UK do not endorse drug use.
You're trying to catch a Pikachu, and there's a big daddy just staring at you.
Yeah, it's like, oh Pikachu, sin.
That's crazy. Okay, so I've got an interesting one. I've got a couple that I could have gone for. I'm going to go for a non-traditional one because you guys have all picked games that I could definitely see happening. Something like a text adventure, where because someone has made this game and they obviously had an image of what this game was supposed to be like, and then you read it. It's like reading a book and then going to the cinema and seeing it all in front of you.
So a game that has been lost to the archives of text-based games.
Yeah, exactly. So I
And
mean,
it hasn't caught up. But
I'm
it
not
was.
on the
But it had the
opinion
potential
that
to be an amazing game.
yeah, because text adventures just obviously they don't have a place anymore.
You
do
just
they?
have
There's,
to use your imagination.
there's like choose your own adventure
Yeah.
apps and stuff like that, but actual games where you have to type where they go and stuff like that, they don't exist anymore. And I think that'd be quite good just to play something like play them as a text adventure and then go and play as a a fully realised next generation game. I think that'd be great.
That could go either way though, because you mentioned it's like reading a book and then watching a film, because that always ends badly in my experience.
It ends badly from plot points though.
See, I
rather than-
hate
yeah,
these people
what
that
you can
read
see.
books and then watch films because they're always like, "Oh, well, the book's so much better than the film."
Well,
That's
I'll
all I ever hear.
give you some
that's-
advice for the future then.
All I ever hear. The book's better than the
That's
film.
never happened to me until I went on holiday and read The Martian, and then went and saw the film.
I haven't seen it yet.
The Hobbit trilogy.
I haven't read The Hobbit.
Yeah.
So.
Uh-huh.
That
That last film,
The only film that has ever successfully pulled it off, in my opinion, is The Lord of the Rings.
which was such a shame that the Hobbit just went.
Yeah, because in my
That's
eyes,
shit. I
The
love
Lord of the
the
Rings,
first one's
I absolutely love The Lord of the Rings, but I don't like the books. It's one of the series of
written in a
books
very
I've
strange way.
always struggled to read, whereas The Hobbit was the best book out of the series, in my opinion. And then the film, they suddenly went from this live action, make-up prosthetics appearance to this CG combat
And they
extravaganza.
filmed it at 42 frames a second as well. What was wrong with that?
Yeah, it's because they shot it with
Was it 48? Sorry.
Yeah, they shot it with Red Epic cameras, so it had to be shot that high for 3D.
It blurred my eyes when I was trying to watch this. Like everything in your peripherals is just completely blurred.
And in the end, I think the problem was in The Lord of the Rings, they made the world was a character in itself. They brought
Yep.
the world to life, whereas the world wasn't believable in The Hobbit because it was so CG, because it was obvious CG. It's like the combat in Lord of the Rings is like Game of Thrones. It's just very straightforward,
You're dead.
choreographed.
No, you're dead.
Whereas in like the Goblin scene, like I enjoyed the Hobbit trilogy, but when they're in the mines with the goblins and you're sitting there watching going, there isn't a single actor present in this scene. It's just 100% animated. It's just, there's no weight, there's no
My
gravity.
favourite character from the third film of the Hobbit trilogy was Dale? Or Dane?
The English guy. No.
His
So
brother?
what's he look like?
His
Oh,
cousin,
the-
sorry.
oh.
Thorin's cousin. And he rides the pig.
Yeah.
He's a
Okay.
badass,
So
but he's
Sean-
entirely CGI.
Yeah.
Entirely.
Oh,
He's such
okay.
a badass.
Yeah.
Turns up with a
Billy
massive
Connolly.
ginger beard.
Billy Connolly, that's the one.
Billy Connolly.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, I remember.
Massive
him.
ginger
No,
beard.
isn't that because
mohawk.
he got like
Right.
really ill during production, so they had to use CG for him?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, didn't.
The more you know.
Yeah, I remember
The
him.
more you know.
I remember seeing something about him being ill. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he
No
got
one gets
like
half the
really
battle.
bad. I can't remember
He's
what.
such a badass.
It's-
Turns up
it's
with a
so
Scottish
good.
accent, ginger beard. It's just like dwarf. Then he's riding a pig,
He was running.
and he's got a massive hammer, and he's fucking shit up. Like I'm just like this dude.
It's basically what
Knows
you
how to
are.
party.
I want a beer with him.
These are my people. That's my nationality right there.
So we had Monster Hunter,
Jack
Jack and Daxter, Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Bit more Pokemon.
Bit more Pokemon. And general text adventures. If I go back just a little bit further, I want an honourable mention because my old favourite fighting game was Battle Arena Toshinden. It was just the fastest kind of ring out sort of fighting game, swords, everything. It was like when the PS1 was first around, there was demo discs and stuff, and I kind of had it, maybe rented it for a few days. And it was a great game. If you guys look it up afterwards, it's such a good fighting game. It's such like open rings, but they move around them so fast and stuff like that. Check it out. Do it. These guys haven't had a gaming education whatsoever, apparently.
What console was that on?
PS1.
PS1?
Consoles.
There was a lot of games back on the PS1 that disappeared.
Did you ever play Scar?
Scar.
S.C.A.
Oh, I can
the
see.
racing game.
I can see the case for it. But
Yeah. Hold on, that game.
Yeah. Did you ever play? We're just going through some racing games now. Roll Cage. And they're making a
I
sequel.
was big on
Not a sequel, though.
Gran Turismo on PS2.
Gran Turismo was good.
So,
They're doing a VR Gran Turismo.
Oh damn!
I
That might
knew.
make me buy a PlayStation.
I called this one a little bit earlier. I said that if anyone's going to make a VR specific game, it's probably going to be the company Polyphony. And Polyphony are Gran Turismo. And if you've ever seen like the inside of their buildings, you can't just sit down and play Gran Turismo. You have to sit into a racing seat, and there has to be 5 screens around you. And you see these screenshots, and you think they're doing VR, 100%.
Yeah.
It's not. What is it now? Gran Turismo 7
I think
or
so,
something
yeah.
like.
I've not played any of the most modern ones. I only played 1 and 2.
Yeah. Well, that's all. 2 is all you need.
Yeah.
I've seen with the VR, obviously, there's a lot of people having like motion sickness problems, things like that with VR, and I think the problem's going to stem from how unnatural the movement is. So, for example, if I'm looking at you now, I will turn my head and I can still look at you. That's fine. Whereas VR is based on the idea that your eyes are always going
Always
to
looking
be
forward.
completely perpendicular to the direction
Didn't get that
you're
in
looking.
PlayStation VR because
So-
I was looking around and it was fine.
No, but I mean, you'll look around, but it's not going to move. So, but until
What do
you
you
turn your, so when you turn your head,
Mm.
for example, so if you turn your head this way, I can turn my head this way and still look at Sam, whereas that's not really going to happen in VR because the screen.
In VR, it's kind of like
turn.
this is your viewpoint, and this is how it goes.
Yeah.
So you're saying that it's not following your eyes, it's following your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people who are making the games have sort of said you have to learn to move your head rather than move your eyes. But
Yeah.
at the same time,
That's
during
unnatural, isn't it?
during the learning process, I didn't have any problems with one changing the way that my eyes worked,
Yeah.
and 2, if I did still go back to the human way of moving my eyes, there was no noticeable unnatural.
Disadvantages,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it's going to be one of those things where it is going to cause motion sickness, and people that have motion sickness tablet companies are going to make a fortune. But I think people just
I'm
get
going to
used
go
to
play
it.
my PlayStation. Give me my tablets.
I just think
Bumped into
people are
others.
just going to get used to it over time.
Yeah, I think
so.
that will. It's. I think for me, and this is my final point before we probably move on, is that VR isn't going to be something that I come home and spend 6 hours in.
Yeah.
Like I could, look
Yeah.
at a screen. I'm probably going to pop in and disappear from the world for half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's-
in the same breath, is that worth spending all that money on it?
Depends how often
And
I
the
do.
periphery sort of like.
I don't know, an amnesia VR, that'd be quite a good experience. You 10 minutes at a time. No, I'm done. That's it.
If you just put it on and
Hey.
start screaming, who am I?
You cray.
That's how long it takes.
Who
to
am
learn.
I?
Oh, amnesia is terrifying. Terrifying game.
No, I think it will be good for a little escape, and then I like what PS4 are doing, where you can watch the screen on the TV, so you can see what someone's doing in there.
Yeah.
And you also there's games where you are a dinosaur that's roaming through the streets and you're destroying the buildings, and someone's there on the TV with the planes trying to shoot you down.
Yeah.
That sounds sick.
Yeah.
That's something that PlayStation do and that Oculus haven't, because if you broadcast that to a screen, you get the 2 images, the 2D version of the 3D image, whereas PlayStation have got. I think the VR headset has got its own processor, so it deals with it itself, which is why it's going to be £300. That's my call. I'm predicting that straight away. It's going to be £300 for that headset. Oculus will be cheaper.
Coming round to you.
Who is up next? What is the running order?
Anyone you want.
Should we go to... I'm going to go to you.
Okay. Well, my kind of thing was, it's not so much of a question, but more of a how cutscenes and cinematics affect games and your enjoyment of the game. Like, for example, some of my favourite cinematics are the ones where you play the game and the cinematic is almost like watching a film or a movie. So an example would be probably the new StarCraft trilogy, like Wings of Liberty. You start off and it's just a movie. It's basically a movie. You play some game, you get a bit more cinematic, and you play the game to get the more of the movie, which is quite cool. But yeah, I just wondered what your guys' takes on that kind of thing were.
I can go either way with this one. My normal habit is... so, the Star Wars Online, MMO.
Yeah.
First time I played it, whacked the CD in, because I had a CD drive.
Wow,
cool. You know what I mean? Bought it from a shop.
Real one?
Leave it. An actual shop. I went to an actual shop. I even bought like a map guide as well because I'm all Star Wars. I was like, where is this? Where is this? I'm not going to play the game. I'm going to read the book. I've got to think about game guides. I've got like a...
Game guides are cool.
I'm stacked with them. Brady games and Piggyback and stuff like that. I love them. And so the first thing I do when an opening cinematic happens is I went, escape. I want to play the game. Escape. Press it. If it doesn't work, I'm pressing it a lot.
See, people like that
I will
freak out.
activate sticky keys to get rid of that thing. It's when you press a button 2 minutes too fast. But so there was one before you can click I want to play the game, and you create your character, and depending on the class, there is now another FMV or whatever you want to call it in the game cinematic before you can actually get to the game. And I didn't watch either of them. I was like, I'm not bothered. It's an MMO.
See, people like you make me sick.
This comes from a Final Fantasy fan. This is the issue because that's all
Yeah.
cinematics, or for the most part. When they advertised Final Fantasy VII, didn't they advertise it as 100 hours of cinematics or something ridiculous like that? Like there was a lot of cutscenes. It's on the back of the case. I have to find it out. But the second time when I recently went back to play it, I sat and watched them all.
Yeah.
I didn't intend to. I just kind of, what's going on here? There's a lot of lightsabers.
You had the time. You've played it. You've seen it.
I know what the game is. I'm not rushing to the game anymore. And I think I probably pay more attention the second time round to FMVs, and that's just probably because I've played so many RPGs and I've seen so many cutscenes. And
there's a lot
grind
of
a little
games that you can give like a nod to cutscenes as well, like Bioshock's another one. There's so many. So I can't even name them now.
They're more like set pieces.
I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum of cutscenes. So like I've played a game before, so like Final Fantasy. 4 hours in, it's been a cutscene. I've accidentally pressed something that skipped it, and I will turn it off and go again because I'm like, I'm not missing this cutscene.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
I'm not missing it and then carrying on the game. I'm not going to know. I'm always in it for the plot, so if I'm going to miss that, it's going to annoy me.
I'm exactly the same.
But the one on about cutscenes, like I can rant about this game for like days. But Metal Gear Solid 4.
That's when you say cutscenes. That's the game that came into my
And
head.
it's I enjoyed the Metal Gear Solid series. I love number 1 and number 2. And when it came to play number 4, everyone in the world's absolutely raving about this game. It's like Grand Theft Auto. They can release one that is the worst game in the world. They're still going to give it a 9 or 10 out of 10, and everyone's going to jump on the bandwagon and be like, best game ever. Metal Gear Solid 4. I knew it was a bad game when I played it at university. We got the PS3 set up, and I had some friends over. We put the game and got it all installed, and we're ready to play. And there's 4 of us in the living room watching this game. I'm sitting on the sofa next to my mates from uni, and all I remember is waking up 2 hours later. It's the middle of the day. We put it on like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We just got back early from lectures, and everyone in the room was asleep. We hit a cutscene, and all 4 of us had just fell asleep. And that, to me, was the sign of an awful game. I was like, I've overdone it. Cause
that same cutscene as well. But that cutscene was still playing when you woke up.
I can't remember. It wouldn't surprise me.
I'm pretty sure in Metal Gear 4
it.
there is a 2-hour cutscene.
Yeah. It
actually is. It's longer than a movie.
That's crazy.
Can you put that on the disc?
Konami do what they want, apparently.
On the I think cinematics are losing their spectacle and they're overusing them like Metal Gear Solid. So rather than you making the story your own, cutscenes kind of force them on you. Whereas I always saw cutscenes as a spectacle. It's something that happens when shit's about to go down. So anyone who's played Final Fantasy 9 here when Bahamut attacks Alexandria
Just in that
and
bit.
the city comes to life, and
The wings
that to
come
me
out and-
was one of the greatest moments of my life. It is this huge kingdom that this dragon attacks, and then a summoner brings in essence the castle to life, and it's this huge fight. And for the time, you're like, this is the best graphics I've ever seen in my life. Like, this is reality. And
Is that dragon actually breathing?
yeah, like, you're like covering your eyes. You're like, no. It's using them right at the same time. It's
you can overdo them.
Yeah.
But that's what I liked about when you go back to StarCraft once again, is that your cutscene starts it, like you get an introduction cutscene, it sets the scene, and then you play a little mission, and then you get more of a cutscene at the end of it. And in between as well, you get mini cutscenes on whilst you're playing during the game, depending on what reactions during the game as well, which is pretty good. And the decisions you make in the game also affect what the cutscene outcome is as well.
I like that.
Which is kind of cool.
I like that. I don't want a cutscene to tell me about the game. I want a cutscene to tell me, to show me that what has happened because of what I've done.
Exactly.
I don't want it to tell me tell me how to play.
Yeah, exactly. Like for example, there's two sort of factions, as you can put it, in StarCraft. There's the Spectres and there's Ghosts. And there's at one point you can either go with the Spectres or go with the Ghosts. And there's a cutscene. I normally go with the Ghosts because, Nova's hot, so... Standard. She's hot. And
Priorities.
like a Black Rasta man.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool.
That's a strong call though. When you said that.
It's true.
He may be hot.
He could
be
hot,
hot.
but he's not my cup of tea. But yeah, and there's a great cutscene in it where he's like flying in a ship and he's like, "Oh, you've pissed me off now. You've gone off with Nova," and then all of a sudden you see like a knife come through the back of his skull, and then it's like, "Oh, the end of him." And then she pops on the screen and says, "He's taken care of," which is pretty cool.
So I'm
Spoiler alert.
yeah.
I listen. I'll tell you the end.
I wasn't listening.
That's not even the end of the game. The end of the game's really good. Let me tell you about that.
I'm kind of a weird one with cutscenes because, they really annoy me. Like the ones in RPGs, I quite like the fact that when you play World of Warcraft, you go up to a quest giver, take the quest from them, and carry on your way. And then until there's a turning point or a crucial thing that requires a cinematic, they won't give you one.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you're doing this quest line to uncover this plot, and you're learning about the plot as you're doing it, because you've got to get the parts for this battlecruiser or whatever.
It's important.
At the end of it, the battlecruiser's made, so all of a sudden, you're on the battlecruiser and you're flying into battle. They only brought this in over the past few expansions on World of Warcraft, but I like things like that. But then when you go into things like Skyrim was good, but Elder Scrolls Online, the stop-start of that game drive me nuts. And
That's what sent it back to the shop.
yeah, I mean, I need.
That's what made it unsuccessful.
Yeah, I need to send it back, man. Because Borderlands, I really enjoy Borderlands because of the frequency of small cutscenes.
They're short and they're funny as hell.
Yeah, and you just want more.
And they're there to be funny. They're not there to do
It's
anything.
the character
else.
introductions.
It's the character. Yeah, you want to know about the character. You want to be indulged in the game rather than shown this thing because you want to show me something.
I played the very start of Borderlands 1 again the other day. And you remember when you get to the first town, Firestone, and you kind of go in, and then you're trying to get into the shutter to see Dr. Zed. I think his name is. And that he gets a 4-second clip, and there's a half-dead body on the table, and it's him with kind of a round-shaped axe. He looks at you and just goes to hit the body, and then it just says Dr. Zed, and that's his cutscene.
I love those.
Yeah.
They're all over Borderlands. They are.
Bingo.
All over. It's been boss fights as well.
Yeah, when they introduce the body, they give that tagline.
And he's and it just goes, and it goes boom boom, and it gives you a slogan underneath.
Yeah, 9 toes and then some little pun or joke.
It's amazing. Borderlands is such a good game.
Great game. Really
And they could do so much more with it. If they had more budget or more influence from other places. They could do so much with Borderlands.
Well, the Tales of the Borderlands, the Telltale game, I don't know if you guys play the Telltale games. It's actually pertinent to this topic because essentially it is one long cutscene where you press a button every now and again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't that Telltale's formula? Other than like maybe the
Yeah.
Lego-
You can walk
Lego-based
around
games
in
they do.
some of them.
This is what I was going to bring up about the text-based game that you talked about before in the last topic.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. That
They're-
could be. That is the future
That's
of the
what they are,
text-based.
yeah. I was going to say it, but
Without you typing N for north or say
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Like, that's the only thing that's really missing from it. But
the illusion of choice is what those games.
yeah.
No, cutscenes are hit and miss for me.
Mhm.
It has to be the right game and it has to be a good story in order for me to really be invested in the cutscene. Like, some games don't need them, and I get the impression I think some games stick them in as a form of loading
Oh, I
behind the
don't
scenes.
mind
So
that.
I think that's
Which I don't mind that.
Unless
I'd
they have to
rather
load
see
the
that than
sequence.
this boring loading screen.
Yeah.
In a circle.
I want to see them Dragon Ball Z loading screens.
But games like The Last of Us, games like Assassin's Creed, in like Batman Arkham series, I think they did great with cutscenes. They wasn't too over the top, and it wasn't like very cinematic. Like they still had that kind of gameplay element to the graphics of it.
Assassin's Creed was good
Yeah.
for cutscenes.
I went back. On about the loading screens. I went back and played Assassin's Creed Brotherhood the other day, and I still find that as soon as you're on a loading screen, you have like white background and you're like in empty
you
space.
run around.
I'm still just running around in circles,
Yeah.
jumping. I'm not sure why I'm just running. I could just leave the controller away. But every time it's run and jump.
To get to the other side.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've kind of got a final point on like Jerry's final, whatever it is. It says on
Final
Jerry's screen.
thought.
James's final thought.
You've got to wait to the end to do that, man.
Of this topic,
Oh,
I get topical.
I've got more on this topic. I've got so much.
Okay, well, this is my final thought.
Okay, your final thought.
thought. As games have got better, the need for cutscenes has kind of got less, and it's used more as a story device rather than a we can do graphics. Let's do a cutscene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My take on where that's going. So you talked about Final Fantasy IX before, and immediately a scene came to my head. Mainly because my discs were broken, and you could skip cutscenes on Final Fantasy IX by opening the disc tray and closing it again, and it would just load the next section. And there was one that I watched about 1,000 times, and that's why it's in my head. It's where you have hijacked the airship, and you're trying to get through the South Gate, which is a big disc in a mountain with a door, and they're closing it on you like this.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it's a cutscene, and you get through there, and the person that's chasing you gets through there, and your black mage is firing fireballs back, and one gets destroyed, it hits a wall. That would be gameplay if it was made now. That wouldn't be a cutscene anymore.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't like that as a cutscene. I'd want it as gameplay.
Yeah.
It would 100% be gameplay.
Yeah, it should be. Like,
Quite a cool thought. I like that.
cutscenes should be all story.
Appreciate that, man.
All story. Like, action, you should do.
So I think that's the crux of it, isn't it? Because computers can do these things now. They should do these things.
Yeah.
But I think there's certain things that cutscenes can do that they need to do. Like they can't have like the 30 seconds transition between like maybe a level or the next part of the level. They can't have you playing it. Because there's an important part that they need to tell you a bit of story, a bit of exposition or whatever to sort of push the story forward. If you're playing and you're not focusing on the conversation, you're off trying to scurry around for berries or whatever in the forest. and you're not focused
I'm trying to talk
on
to you.
the conversation that's trying to push the story forward.
Yeah.
I think cutscenes.
I found with Grand Theft Auto actually, GTA, if you're driving along and something interrupts the dialogue or something's too loud, like you crash the car and you just hear a bang while he's trying to talk to you and tell you the story of what's happened, like he'll just start off again because he'll be like, oh, what the fuck you doing, man? When did you learn to drive? And then like, you carry on driving and he'll be like, so anyway, and you just carry on telling
It's like
the
a
story.
dynamic cutscene.
Yeah, it just like brings it back to the story. So
Grand
you
Theft
don't
Auto
just
and Rockstar, I think, are probably one of the few game producers that have literally nailed it.
See, I can't stand the GTA games.
Because they have no
until this
loading.
one.
They have no loading in that game.
No, there's extensive loading at the start.
There's literally no loading when you get into that game. When you walk into a new house, so there's no loading of this new structure. Like you walk in, it's already there.
If anybody does want GTA 5 on Xbox 360, you're more than welcome to take it off my hands for free. In fact, I might even pay you.
Grand Theft Auto San Andreas has just been released on the PlayStation Store for the PS4. Is it on the just on the PS3 store? Right. Here's the crappy detail of this. It's not the PS2 version. It is the Xbox 360 version, which in itself is a port of a mobile version. They ported because San Andreas is on phone.
Yeah.
They sent that version to Xbox 360, and now PS3 has taken a port of that and is using that. So it's now four steps away from where it first started.
It's going to be GTA San Andreas bug.
Yeah.
Bug is here.
Embrace brackets.
But yeah, I could just never get into the GTA games. Like, I could appreciate them for what they are. I just wasn't my cup of tea at all. Again,
I haven't been into a GTA game since Vice City.
I enjoyed
That's
the
because
original.
4 was pants.
4 times. I never got into San Andreas.
I enjoyed 4, but more because it was a next gen experience,
I
not because
played
it
the
was anything
original
else.
ones to death, like the top-down ones. They were the best. For me.
Played that one London.
GTA and GTA London, yeah.
GTA 5 was the first GTA I literally played to the last mission, story-wise.
London.
Yeah, there was, yeah.
Top-down version, and the
It was
like,
almost.
the pool.
Was there like missions? I don't
This is the
remember.
car, and this is the camera.
Top down. No,
Have you?
you've never played a GTA like this.
This is the only way to play the GTA.
My word.
There's yeah, there's a Grand Theft Auto 3, like Vice City, San Andreas 4 and 5. That means there's a 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I think
And they
London
were-
was the first.
Because, like, this is the only one I've played extensively and everything else was crap except if you knew cheats, so, like, tank. So, like, I was just like, oh, yeah, 3, 4, they were kind of crap, so 2 and 1 are going to be awful.
But they were almost
They were
the
the
best
best.
one, yeah.
Yeah, they were so much fun. Just went way in. I remember on the PC version you could get onto the train, but in the console version you couldn't. So you could wait on the train station with a flamethrower, and then everyone would come out of the train and just go hello, talk to them all, get on the train, and go to the next stop.
Man. You're a bad man.
Yeah.
GTA makes us all bad men.
Yeah.
it does.
Topic number 3. I am going to dive in right now. So my topic is, with all the games that are coming out these days and how complicated they're getting, how pretty they're getting, how involved they're getting. Yeah, they are. If someone came to you who hasn't played computer games, and said, I want to play games, where do I start? Where do you send them?
I had this question given to me probably no less than a week ago.
Okay.
No work. No, he's not going to say he has never played games, because the last game thing he ever played was the PS1, which was what, 90...
I mean, 97, 96, 95, somewhere around about there.
There's been 4 generations of consoles since then. But he had an idea of games to go with, but the first game he bought was Star Wars Battlefront.
Lad.
And I said to him, great game,
Great
but
timing.
that's the worst thing you could have done, because he's never played with an analog stick, never played with, I think, shoulder buttons, or never played with 6-axis sort of controls, so he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. And Battlefront's
Six-axis
already
is
chaotic it is, it was 20 versus 20, and I was like, you've run on the wrong foot there. And I said, the best thing you could probably have done was got a game like FIFA, or something that you can turn the difficulty down on, but will still show you the graphical capabilities of
I think both of them are right.
of the next gen console.
Okay.
Because
So
you could tell them to go back and play like Mario or something on the proper like old school NES, but if you showed me that now and I didn't know what a game is, I'd be like, is that all this game's done in the past 20 years?
But you know what a game's done. Then.
because you've
No,
played
but you
them.
know, but
If I was given Mario,
you
and
live in a
I
world where like you have this that could take you to the moon. It's got more technology than they had on the first NASA space rocket to the moon.
True.
And if you showed me
And yet we're
Mario
sitting
now,
here.
And
I'd
we're
be like,
sitting
is
here.
that all that games can do? But for me, I would say something that's still next gen, but not.
Something free roam, I'd say.
I think
you can get
I'm
used
inclined
No,
to
I'd go
agree.
linear.
I think you'd have fighting games. What comes to mind to me, like I think it'd be funny to throw them in at the deep end and give them like the hardest game you can think of. But I remember years ago, I had a friend who they'd played games before, and they were playing Saints Row, and we were just like taking in turns, just having a mess about. And they could only use one analog at a time, and it literally adjust analog, run. Adjust analog, run, and they couldn't get the hang of it. So, if you're looking at a complete noob that has just come out of a locked box somewhere that has never held a controller before, you're going to completely kill the experience by adding in the camera. So, an RPG, so the old RPGs, if you look at Lifestyle Odyssey or the original Final Fantasy, they're another option again because it's going to slow the game down for them. You've got a story, it's going to be turn-based. The camera's locked in and he's literally move around and spam A to pick items up and talk to people, and you can become immersed. Whereas if you were to give someone, say, here's 484,
A little bit different.
I suppose it would depend, I guess, on your outcome. You're trying to get them into games, or trying to get them to realise how good a game can be?
So yeah, this is the crux of it. So I didn't want it to be a very straightforward question, but I was thinking like, if my mum came to me one day, because my dad plays computer games, it's something that we've really got in common. I go around, and, we played guitar the other week, and he'll be playing Uncharted or something when I go around. And that's all fine for him, and I'm trying to look back to where he started with games, but he probably bought an Atari and an Amstrad, and he used to try and program BASIC on the Commodore and stuff. So he's been in there from day one.
Fluent. Yeah, he's fluent.
He's been in there since day one, and that means so have I, because I've seen him do that. I think my actual first gaming experience that I can really remember was having a broken arm in hospital and sitting there. This is a cute story, and it's a very, very short story. My mum was sitting there, I had a broken arm, and I was playing Mario on the original Game Boy that my auntie had lent her because I broke my arm. And she was pressing the jump button and I was pressing the left and right button. Just sitting there in the hospital, just waiting for X-rays and stuff. Just come on, well, good makeup on today. But if my mum came to me or my sister or something like that and said, I want to play a video game, you could go to the top of the list and go, I could just give you the best gaming experience there is available, and it's going to completely draw you in, or it's going to turn you around and send you back out the door. Because, Metal Gear Solid, probably a lot of people's game of the year, but my mum's going to pick up the controller and go, holy hell.
I would completely agree.
I would be tempted to go for something like Journey.
Yeah.
What's that?
Journey's an emotional masterpiece, which takes around 2 hours to get from start to finish. It is incredible as games go. It really, really is good. It's something that if you haven't played it, you'll play it. Pretty much no story. You just kind of create it as you go along. And if you haven't cried by the end, there's something wrong with you.
I have played it briefly, but isn't it just like run and jump like aside from that, there isn't any other controls?
There's no real right stick control because the camera does everything for you. There's just jump. You can play. The whole thing's online if you play online, and other characters will be near you. But there's no way to talk to them. There's no headset kind of thing. There's no chat. You just make talking sounds, and they can make them back. And you'll go through the game together, and you create relationships like that.
Does that not give off the wrong impression in terms of what a game is?
Well, I mean, if you break it down, the sentence "What is a game?" Do you know what I mean? Like that is a Patreon special podcast that you have to pay to listen to that one.
I think you've got to like break them in slowly to different genres, haven't you? Like I imagine like a racing game would be a good shout because you're getting them used to having because racing games are still the same as the old. Like, it takes a little while to get used to the joysticks. Yeah. But, then you're getting them used to using the shoulder buttons.
Forza's got auto brake on corners.
Racing games
you can use.
Are the best games to just introduce someone to what things can do. Because
Mario Kart.
Because, exactly, Mario Kart. What do you do? Okay, well, you steer with the directions. Okay, obvious. And you press go. Which is
go, stop.
Go. And when you want to slow down, you let go of the go button. And when you want to speed up, you press the go button again.
Yeah.
Racing games.
And then you've got the extra button where you launch a shell.
I think that in later.
Yeah.
Easy mode.
I think in regards to pick up and play, Mario Kart is probably the easiest game to introduce someone to.
Basically, the way you asked the question, I was thinking, okay, well, what can I introduce my mother to? Because my mum is a technological disaster.
Yeah.
Sorry if you ever watch it, Mother, but you are terrible with technology. And she actually owns a Wii console. I think it might have been mine at some point.
Everybody owns.
But she owns a Wii console. And she can actually play Mario Kart, even though she jumps around on the sofa and does this with the steering wheel.
I do that.
Do you do that with Rocket League?
Yeah.
I cannot jump in Rocket League without going...
I do it with a controller. My brothers always used to laugh at me because we were playing Project Gotham Racing and I'm sitting there doing this.
Yeah, that's what she's like on the sofa. You can't stop from doing it. So that's one way of doing it. Again, if I'm getting someone that's come out of a box and never experienced gaming or technology before, I'd probably go down the route of Mario or Sonic or something that's run and jump, collect things. Because to me, that is gaming. That's my nostalgia says that's gaming. That's how I started to play games in Mario.
If I ever end up having a kid that shows some interest in a video game, there is going to be a gaming education that takes place.
Yes,
it's going to be, once you finish Mario, you can have Sonic.
Yeah.
And then once you finish Sonic, let's go for something with an extra dimension.
Yeah. Missed out Sonic Spinball though, that was fucking weird.
No Sonic Spinball. You can have Sonic and Knuckles and we'll plug the thing in the top and oh my god, it's kind of 3D now.
They'll be like, Dad, I want the PlayStation 11. You can, but you need to play this game from PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There's going to be a level of appreciate where it's been and not in a dickhead way kind of thing. Like this is how you play games. Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, there are a few ways you can look at that, but ultimately, I mean, if I've got somebody that's not like my mother or not been locked in a time box and has played games before but hasn't played for quite a few years, I'd probably just give them something standard like a Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, they're just so easy. Like you run around and you shoot stuff.
The only problem is the right stick issue, and you might not have experienced this before. I gave Rachel the second controller for Borderlands one time, and it was running in straight lines, and then how do I turn my head? And I was like, you use that one. She went.
People don't get it. They don't have the coordination.
My experience of that was me and Jess took the control off me when I was playing Destiny, and Destiny's not a game where you get unlimited sort of ammo. Like it does run out. And I gave her a go, and she ended up facing down. Yeah. Just unloading.
It's down or up.
Round in a circle on the
down
floor.
or up. It's down
Didn't
or up.
understand that you had to do that.
Had anyone played Armored Core?
The name rings a bell.
A while ago.
It's a fighting mechs game basically. I love Gundam, I love robots, everything like that. So when I saw Armored Core, I was like, brilliant. Look up is R1 and look down is R2.
Fuck that shit.
That's
Can't you bring back the controller?
This I mean, Armored Core was when there wasn't, a right stick. And even then, if we go to the PSP where there wasn't a second stick, and I had a Rainbow Six game, and the analog stick was triangle, X, square, and circle, and it was look up is triangle, or I think I had to flip the axis on that, but with the right stick it's fine, but with that it just wasn't normal. I always thought they should have come out with a peripheral for that, and like as a shooting game, use the top buttons, and then put something on the buttons that looks like a thumbstick, and as you press up, it pushes triangle for you.
Yeah.
It's a piece of plastic that could have made millions.
Just a bit of plastic. Yeah.
It's a bit like I remember on the old Olympic games you used to get.
Oh.
You used to use the
Track and field,
top
man.
cap and just smash squares.
Wow,
just
you
like
were
this.
you were good, man.
I think I
used my sock off.
The first game
I just did this
ever,
real slow.
I think it was for everyone. The first game that really made everyone masters of the button mash was the torture scene in Metal Gear Solid 1. Because you would hammer the shit out of those buttons, and you'd be like, "What? I'm still losing!" And then by the point that it's like finished, you just like the flash, and your hands just going mental.
It teaches you that it's not as fast as you can; it's as small as you can.
Yeah.
Being battles in Dragon Ball Z, when me and you were sitting there like both.
Any platform fighting game.
If you're like a big robots fan, did you play Titanfall?
No, I didn't have an Xbox One at the time. I did.
What on earth was that?
I played one.
That was Titanfall.
Titanfall. I thought you said
That was youth.
Titanfall. I was like,
That was you. I played one level of it at Tiny's house, and it looked pretty as hell.
It's awesome.
And the fact that the Xbox hasn't managed 1080 and 60 frames a second since, I don't know if they did for that, but it looked like 60 frames a
It looks
second.
good on Xbox. I had it on my laptop because I don't have an Xbox.
My issue with Titanfall is that did you buy Brink when that came out for the PS3?
Nope. Yeah.
I feel like you did. It's one of them where there isn't an offline mode, and you have to be, and you don't know what side you're going to be on, so the story's a little bit convoluted. I wasn't in for that.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I liked the gameplay, and I liked the Titans, and I liked all the stuff. Another thing I didn't like about it was obviously the story mode, which wasn't really a story, and Origin for PC. No. I hate Origin. It's like, let's be Steam. No.
it didn't.
I literally
Steam.
I just bought The Sims 4 from Origin the other day.
Yeah.
Because it was on the Black Friday sale for like £13 or something like that. And that's something that the missus will play, which is a game that you could use to introduce people to games.
Yeah, that is quite good actually. Look, you can have real life.
Everyone, I don't know
I just
anyone
bought
that
my
does
sister.
it.
Fuck. My sister wants to be an architect. And
Does she now?
she legitimately uses The Sims.
I'm sure Sam will show her a structure.
To like build things.
If we get good at video editing, there will be a picture of her. just
Flashing over
to
every now
explain this. It's what Sam said every now and again. My older sister doesn't play games, but I have memories of her with a laptop at the living room table just playing The Sims permanently.
The last one I played was the first one, and it was awesome. But now there's so many expansion packs, and this is what like EA do with their Origin stuff. It's just DLC after DLC. You buy a game for 50 quid or 40 quid or whatever it is, and then you have to pay like 10 quid each time something new comes out, which is really
I need
annoying.
to find my Spore disc again. Now you said it.
Yeah, it was £3 in the thing you saw because I wanted to do it through Steam and not through Origin or whatever it's
Did you
on
get
now.
support through Steam?
Yeah, it's on Steam. I think it was about £1 something, and then there was like the Galactic Extras pack for £1 something. I thought, I love that game. Shame the online was so convoluted because you can't actually play with anyone. You can just use their stuff.
It's weird.
It's real. So you can use like if I create a dinosaur on my account, you could search my account and use my character in your game. So that was the idea. And the buildings and.
What's the point?
No point. No point. I never did get to the centre of the galaxy though. I'm gonna go on YouTube later and find out what the ending of Spore was because there is an end. Moving on.
Yeah.
So we settled on Mario, racing, football.
It's a game like
That's
that
niche.
where you could turn the difficulty a little bit down.
There is an easy mode as well, isn't it? It's like a one button mode.
Yeah. So you can just still get that visual wow factor of what a game console can do nowadays.
FIFA, not Madden.
Yeah, I was going to say, you wouldn't give them Madden. Because I still don't understand Madden. And, well, we all play American football, so it's...
I went onto YouTube and put my first one was 05.
Yeah.
And I went on YouTube and did the soundtrack for it. And all these memories of playing as the Eagles in practice mode and just throwing to Terrell Owens for 6 hours. Just like long ball. It's so easy. It's Madden like. And then going to my dad, what's a 2-minute warning? Why can't I play? That was a good night. And what was yours, Ant? Did you go for like a Mario Kart?
Yeah, Mario Kart, I think I've gone to settle on it.
Yeah, a lot of these, I mean, the overarching thing is if you want to show them a game, you want them to carry on playing games.
Yeah.
You want them to be interested in your topic. We're all salesmen at heart when it comes to what we
I've
care
tried
about.
many a time without it.
Yeah, like I said, we're all salesmen when it comes to things that we care about, and you don't mean to do it. But if Rachel went on play a game, I'd be on the internet, be like, "What consoles have you got? What you just go for it, don't you? You don't mean to." But then if I went and bought her The Last of Us, and she,
Definitely. You can't throw them in the deep end.
Although she did kill a clicker once. She killed a clicker. She did a tweet about it and everything. What we got then, Sam? Next topic. You can choose what we got left.
I can't remember what's left.
So we've done some cutscenes.
Some good scenes. Oh, voice acting.
Voice acting, okay.
Voiceovers.
I wanted to talk about this just because, like, I know it's quite old now, but there was a lot of discussion about how awful the voice acting was for the Destiny little floaty thing that goes around with
Yeah,
you.
the ghost.
Yeah, the ghost, and then there was some more. I can't remember now.
The DLC that came out, they completely did everything.
Yeah.
Did everything.
Redid the entire ghost thing in the DLC, but it was a different game.
It was the ghost thing. It was like
The original ghost thing was
The
Tyrion Lannister.
Tyrion
Tyrion
Lannister.
Lannister.
Yeah, him.
but then he got.
I know his name, I don't know it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Nolan North, who does everything.
Just everything.
Yeah.
So he's Uncharted,
Peter
isn't he? And
Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage. There you
That's
go.
the one.
Yep. There's two. I've had to bring his page up just so I can find a list of what he's done. And there's two people that do every single voice in the industry, and it's Nolan North and Troy Baker. What was that?
Just love Troy Baker.
Like fancy him real bad.
I don't really know names that well of voice actors. I recognise them when I pick them out. Like what's his name? Stephen Merchant was in Paul 2.
Yep.
A lot. Liam Neeson's been in a couple of ones, like Fallout 3. He was in Fallout 3.
Yeah, I love it when like movie actors do stuff. And
Yeah,
play
yeah.
a game like I know that voice.
One big one for me was Mass Effect 2. And the voice acting in Mass Effect's always been fantastic anyway. In fact, I went to Comic-Con this year. I went to a Mass Effect, what do they call it, where they came on and just chatted about the game and stuff, which was
Awesome.
pretty cool. And they're chatting how much stuff goes into the voice acting, and they basically make a film,
Yeah.
essentially.
I think the actors are better as well.
Yeah, the actors are
than
better.
real actors.
But what I like about Mass Effect 2 is that they use real actors for their things. Like, did you ever watch a TV series called Chuck?
Yeah.
I know that Chuck is, and I watched it.
It's also got the best theme tune in the world ever.
Is that where he's a secret agent?
Yeah, he's a secret agent, but he's actually just a normal guy,
Yeah.
and he's rubbish at everything. But it's funny as hell.
Who was
But
the
anyway,
pilot of the Normandy? What was his name?
I can't remember.
He does Chris from Family Guy. I should know.
Seth Green.
Seth Green. There you go. Yeah, he did that.
But yeah, they're all like proper actors and stuff. And most of the cast of Chuck was in Mass Effect 2. So I was playing Mass Effect 2 whilst watching Chuck, and I was thinking they sound really similar. So I had a little IMDb, and they are the same people. And Miranda as well. Is it Miranda? She looks exactly the same.
I think I've seen a picture of that actually, so I made a point of it online.
She looks exactly the same as she does in real life, as in the game as well.
I've got a little list of what Troy Baker's done on his IMDb,
Okay,
and
nice.
I'm not gonna touch cartoons. I'm just gonna go games, and I'm just gonna go 2015.
Okay.
So he plays Sam in Uncharted 4, which is actually coming out next year, so that's a little bit sneaky, but he's doing his voice stuff now, already done it. He was in Star Wars The Old Republic in the new DLC. Lego Dimensions, he played Batman and Two-Face.
Standard.
He also did Hawkeye in the TV series. This guy.
No chill.
He plays a couple of characters in Skylanders, which you asked what it was last week and we did the last podcast, and we did not answer your question. I'm not going to answer it right now.
I think I know what it is. I think I've seen it.
In Metal Gear Solid 5, he plays Ocelot, so another main character. Disney Infinity, he plays Hawkeye, and he does in the animated series as well.
Wasn't he the main person in Bioshock Infinite?
He probably was,
Yeah,
to be honest.
Him and Nolan North are like the two
Yeah.
two in the industry that literally just do everything.
So we've still got a few months left. In Lego DC Superheroes, he played Batman. And then actually in a video that came out just before it, he played the Joker. He was in the Arkham Knight, he played Harvey Dent, Two-Face, Jason Todd, and then there's ... because there's more and I'm not clicking the link.
He also played the Joker in...
So basically, there's a lot of things that he's done.
I'm nearly there. We're down to here. There's not many games left in this list. In Lego Jurassic World, he played a Velociraptor handler. So he just went in and did like a little
I
bit
was
role.
really helping you just end the sentence with a
A
Velociraptor.
What a Raptor
He played a
Attack.
Velociraptor. Nice.
I like it.
In Mortal Kombat 10, he played 3 characters.
Good.
In Infinite Crisis, has anyone heard of that video game for 2015?
Never heard of
He played Superman.
What?
That's not that fighting game. No, Gods Among Us was
Yeah, Infinite Crisis. We're going to write that one down. I'm going to check that one out. In Lego DC Comics Superhero Justice League versus Bizarro League, which is probably a DLC, he played Batman and also Bat-Zaro, which is like
Batman's a recurring character.
Bizarro
here,
in the
isn't
Batman.
Yeah.
It's like Bizarro Batman. In The Crew, he played Alex Taylor, which I think was the main character. That rings a bell.
Okay.
Yeah. In Tales from the Borderlands, he played Reese Tommy and additional voices. Far Cry 4, he played Pagan Min, who was the main bad guy. And that is
He had a
2015.
crazy voice, he did.
Yeah.
I've played that game.
It's incredible.
I sneaked into 2014 a little bit there because there was I was trying to see the games, but
Coming back to
it just
your-
doesn't end.
your
Yeah,
joke-
Booker do it. Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah, there you go.
Coming back to
Just
your,
everybody.
your almost fantasy of him just doing a Velociraptor. One of my favourite voice actors is a guy called Robin Atkin Downs.
Mm.
And he, for me, the only reason why I know him is because he did the voice for the Cantus in Gears of War. And if you ever heard them, that games, it's...
Is that the one that screams?
It's the most guttural, most like... It's like screaming, like...
Which
inhaling,
one was
like,
the Cantus again? What weapon?
with the bow and arrow, the torpedo.
They're the ones that said human.
Yeah.
I thought the Countess was the one that resurrected people.
Because the thing that
They're on guards, one's throwing bows. They could be, yeah.
The Countess the one that
Countess
does.
is the one that goes, brings me back
And
to
they have
life.
poison grenades and
There's
stuff.
There's a video on YouTube,
Bastards.
it's like a 3-minute video of him just in the booth,
Yeah.
just recording after recording, just guttural, like monster sounds.
Yeah.
And to think that a human
Can make that
can
sound.
make them sort of noises is amazing to me.
Yeah.
And that, besides normal voice acting where you're just being a normal human character, just portraying a voice, being able to do that with your voice to me is a lot more impressive. I think.
It's not just that though. I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, you can do all these noises, you can do all the voices, and you can act really well as your character. But then, like I saw with the guys from Mass Effect when they were talking about the game and stuff and how they'd never met until that day.
Yeah.
Like they'd never met, yet they were doing dialogue together. Like they'd spoken on Skype, I think, twice in their life.
Chemistry would be unreal.
And their chemistry between the conversations was like completely
Nah,
normal.
yeah,
like
yeah,
it was such a natural conversation that the characters were having, yet they'd never
They
actually
can bring
met.
so much to life, can't
Yeah.
they? The best part of The Last of Us, I think, to me,
Oh man, yeah.
was...
I need to play this game.
We'll sort that.
It's not so much the cinematics or the gameplay or anything, it's the fact that they make the story so believable because the acting behind it all is just so gripping and so emotional. It really makes you believe about the characters
Yeah.
when the acting behind it is that
Yeah.
impressive.
Matt, what's your take on it? Is this something that you...
Yeah, I mean, I really liked. Who's the guy that played the in the Hobbit? He was the dwarf, and he's in a lot of films. He's
There's a lot of Hobbit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dwarfs in the Hobbit.
the
Give me.
But the main one, you mean
One of the other ones.
the actual Hobbit?
no, Scottish. And he's
Oh.
like one of the main dwarves. He's like.
Look on the pig again.
I know who you're talking about because he's done loads of British TV shows on BBC.
On loads of British TV.
I'll find out. You keep talking.
But he did loads of games. I can't remember what he was in. But I want.
Just so you know, I'm so fast. It's James Nesbitt.
James.
Yes.
There you go. He's in a bunch of games, I think.
He's probably in Fable 3. Everyone was in Fable 3.
A lot of people are in Fable.
A lot of people are in Fable.
Yeah.
A lot of people are in Fable.
Stephen Fry did a
It's
very
the only
early.
thing they did well.
They sure as hell didn't get the frame rate right.
Fable is my jam.
Every time I open the
All
menu, I might have to
14
make a
hours
sandwich
of
or
it.
something because it was like, menu is loading. Okay, you can do stuff now. And then you press something, I was joking, you can't do stuff yet.
To the
Well, I also really liked. Fire, I lost my train of thought now.
Hobbit.
No, the voice acting in Ratchet and Clank.
Oh,
I doubt.
God.
I know, but I doubt they were any famous voice actors or anything, or famous people. But
You might be surprised. I'll have a look. But
yeah, probably.
I'll do
But
some research.
I think for their target audience, which is way younger than me.
Are we putting any money on Nolan North? Or
I would
Troy?
bet money on Nolan North being involved in that game.
For their target audience, and even for like the slightly older, like, so I can still laugh at some of the jokes they put in there, but the voices that they've got and the characters fit everything perfectly. Like, I just feel like it's not a complete game because there's so many flaws, and I'm very biased, but like they've just done everything right. You know what I mean? They had a very clear vision of how they wanted Captain Quark to sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they got it perfect.
But with Ratchet and Clank, and probably most games as well, you don't go in with a preconceived idea of what that character's going to sound like.
Yep.
Unless you've read a book, like a film, and you can go to the film and go, oh, like, it's not how I imagine
Yeah,
it.
but I feel like, well, I don't really know the process in creating a game, but like they probably had the artwork and the concept behind Captain Quark before they had the voice
That's what
actor.
the casting debate.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I
So-
saw a little clip, just to say, like, did they do the video or the voice first, etc. Do you know that new Pixar film, The Good Dinosaur?
Yeah.
Something like that. There's a clip of a woman doing the little girl's voice, and she's watching the TV and trying to match her mouth with the CG mouth. And I don't know how many takes they're doing. They're like, that was close, just do another one. Can you imagine that?
That must have changed because obviously I work with animation. How it was done originally and how it's been done for a while is all the dialogue is recorded before the animation,
As it should be.
and they animate it to the actual.
I mean,
voice.
there's a chance this could have been an overdub.
Yeah, it could
There's a
have easily
chance.
just been a redo. My two games come to mind when I think about voice acting. The first one is just for badassness. Has anybody played Bastion?
I know.
Everyone knows the name
It's
of
almost
Bastion.
like a top-down game, and you play. It's got these like cel-shaded-esque graphic, the cutesy graphics. You're in this colourful world, and you're playing like this little kid. And for some reason, it just has this 1930s-esque film noir voiceover. So, and you're playing it, and it's so well done. And it's this guy, and just it's like this deep, like husky voice telling your story as you play through the game. And you're there, and you're like, I want my life to have a voiceover. I just want to be standing there in the morning with the kettle's boiled, and I can just hear like, slowly he poured the water. It's a tea bag, like brew, and just it'd be amazing.
What do you say like the teabag like?
Yeah. I wouldn't do my own voiceover. I'd be like, yo, Barry White, come down.
I played it at one point, and you get like a hammer as a weapon or something like that, and you have to break things to get items out of all games forever. You get health out of them, whatever. And I hit the thing, and he goes, "The kid hit it." Hits it again. He goes, "He hits it again." I hit it one more time. He goes, "This kid must be angry." It's great. But then
I quite like characters where, I think it's in Borderlands. If you stay AFK for a long while, they'll start talking to you like I'm not here for my health.
yeah, there was one point when I was playing it the other day, and I was kind of watching a Twitch stream at the same time, and I was jumping back between them.
What Twitch stream were you watching?
It was at twitch.tv/Raptor Attack UK, and I think it was you playing that. I'm smooth, don't worry. Just and no, I came back, and I was playing as the guy with the Mordecai, the guy with the hawk.
Yeah.
And I logged back into the game, and it like the subtitles were already there, and he goes, "This is what I wanted to do all day. Just sit and stare at some scrap." He's like, "Oh, sorry, man. I'm gonna go and play."
Give me a break.
Also, I want to know who did the voice acting to that fucking shotgun.
Your profanity shotgun.
If you check out the previous podcast, we had a subject of favourite weapons, and Matt's was one that hurls bullets and abuse.
Borderlands 2 pre-sequel. There's a shotgun that you get. I can't remember what it's called now.
The profanity shotgun.
The profanity shotgun.
Yes,
An
it was.
extremely angry Australian lady shouts at you when you kill things.
I bet the Australianness makes that a lot better than just being like
so much better.
a Londoner just screaming
Like,
F-bombs every now and again.
Mate, it just Matt?
Mate, are you serious, mate?
You what, mate?
If you do that in an Aussie, mate, it's fine. It just works.
Whoever did that voice acting, like, I want to meet and thank.
If that was you, anyone who's listening, if that was you, come forward.
Let's get in touch. We would like to thank you personally for yelling profanities when we pull the trigger. That's very important.
Pull your trigger and hear you again.
I'm going to double back. I'm going to double back to The Hobbit, and there's a really good. You can probably grab it on YouTube. This video, but it's Benedict Cumberbatch playing Smaug.
Oh yeah.
But he's doing it in a. He was actually mocapped for the dragon, and you can see him crawling around this like open space, and the way he talks and stuff. And it does go through a voice changer, but he does the voice anyway.
I've seen the video.
I've seen the video of that. And he, as much as I don't like him,
and it's ridiculously cringeworthy as well.
It is super cringeworthy,
but he is very
job.
good.
But you wouldn't see an actor do that in a film because it's embarrassing. But this is what the voice actors have to go through behind the scenes because they can't just talk; they have to do it and they're not acting to anyone.
I saw a video of Liam Neeson voicing something. I think.
I bet he can actually just stand there though.
No, he was getting well animated.
Really?
Like he's in movies going, I will fight you and I will kill you, and then voice acting is like
Real good.
Casting a spell.
Was he in Gang Beasts as well?
But it was that sort of Kung Fu Panda. That's what came to mind.
The other game I wanted to touch on, just for exceptional just script and voice acting, it has to be the Batman series.
Okay.
Batman, Arkham City, Arkham
Troy?
Asylum.
Troy Baker.
Troy
He does Two-Face. It's Mark Hamill who
Mark
does
Hamill.
Joker.
Mark
The
Hamill.
Joker.
Is he still alive?
Arkham Asylum. The one reason I love that. Obviously, the amount of detail I go into you find in these recordings of interviews and stuff like that, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
But the actual voiceover that the Joker does not made that game
Joker's
to
is
me.
incredible.
Just the things you hear over the tannoy and just making you laugh out loud. Just
He
some of
is-
the jokes and things he's
He's the
making.
Joker, like
Yeah.
that
That's what I think I
sort
would
of
have made the Joker.
interpretation and portrayal of the Joker across any medium. Arkham series nailed it. No more than Heath Ledger did in The Dark Knight, whatever.
Yeah.
More than anyone in history, Mark Hamill has nailed the Joker perfectly.
Okay. I'm happy about how that went.
And me?
I don't know how I feel about voice acting. I think that was the question, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like voice acting.
I don't think it's more of a question, it's more of a...
Yeah, it was
I think this is
discussed.
very prominent in games and
Yeah.
movies.
I was like, games would be nothing without voice acting.
Can you imagine if you met someone who was a voice actor and they kind of just did that voice to you, and you'd just be taken immediately back to the game, wouldn't you? And I think that's the power of voice acting. That's where it goes back to. Okay, then, guys, you have been listening to the Raptor Attack Podcast, episode 2. If you like what you saw, you can find us at Twitter at the Raptor Attack, twitch.tv/Raptor Attack UK. You can follow us at YouTube where you are right now. Facebook.
Get off Facebook, get back onto YouTube.
Thank you, pal. Get onto YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, and share. Tell your friends. See you later.